Commanders.
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
I'm ready.
Write it down. We're gonna bring it.
Oh, I'm ready for you. Absolutely.
2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good.
I'll get a Jaden Daniels jersey ready
Yep.
for you.
I'll have my Williams jersey.
Yes, that's awesome. So I did want to ask you this because this was another, criticism that I saw on social media, and we were just actually talking about it off the air. People would say, "Oh, when I go into Eastern Shore Undercover, if Earl Campbell don't like me, I get blocked. If he don't agree with me, I get blocked and deleted, and like all this. And how can he be a credible news, organization? And how can he be, transparent, as they say, when all he does is, don't like it, block it. Don't like your comment, block it. What would you say to that? And what does it take to get blocked?
So
What are the rules?
This is
Yeah.
easy little. Bill, are you blocked?
I'm not.
Jess, are you blocked?
No, I am not blocked.
Because everybody plays by the rules.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
going there and calling me F-bombs and all this other
Right,
stuff. And
right.
you're not bringing up race, which is just such hatred.
Yes.
So the way I look at it, if you're coming on my page and you're going to complain about how I do business.
And it's a private, you own that page.
Yeah, it's
you.
my page.
Right.
I'm not
Yes.
the government.
This is your business.
Yeah.
And I equate it to going into Walmart. If you walk into Walmart and walk up and say, you're this and you're that, and you complain about everything at Walmart, they're going to kick you out.
Yeah.
If you go into McDonald's and you throw a burger at the clerk behind, they're going to throw you out. It's no
Yeah.
different with me. I say, hey, look, guys, just play by these rules. Don't talk about race on the page. I don't want to hear about it. It's just an ugly subject.
Right.
Never going to be solved on social media. I promise you. Don't come on here and talk bad about me and my wife. If you don't like us, just don't follow the page.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing for me to comprehend is that people can't just not follow the page. If I don't like Johnny's radio station, I just don't follow Johnny's radio station.
Right.
But people don't like that. They're just not like that. They feel entitled that, well, I'm going to go on there. So I'm going to give a little secret here on the Power 101 with Bill and Jess. Listen, guys, if I ban you, all you have to do is go on any kind of web browser and just type Facebook Eastern Shore Undercover. You can still see everything.
Yeah.
You just can't comment.
Right.
And that's all I'm
Right.
trying to prevent.
Yes.
I just don't want that negativity on our page.
Yeah. And I mean, look, we talked about it too. Like, look, I'll be honest. People we banned from the Power page. I mean, I'll be honest.
Right.
And, I used to get more into it, back, but I've realized that there's always going to be trolls, especially when you're big. You got like a big following or whatever. And if you don't have them, you must not be doing something right.
Yep.
And then to say that, Eastern Shore Undercover, they ban and block and do all this because, Earl Campbell don't like, the person. You know how many, like, if you think that WBOC, WMDT, WRDE, if you don't think that they block people, come on. You're lying to yourself. We've all worked at those organizations. We have friends there. We know they're great, credible news organizations. But to think they're not going to block someone who comes on.
If there's like
Yes.
certain comments that just go over the top, you will get removed.
And that's it.
Yep.
So that's that. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover before we wrap up? Because I feel like we've talked about such good stuff, and I mean, I think we've covered. Did we cover everything with the Wicomico County? Where are we at now with the Wicomico County situation? Because you entered into the agreement officially, correct?
I have a contract.
But then-
I still have that contract. It's just
It's
on
paused
hold.
honestly, it's paused. Yeah.
until when? Like, what are we doing here?
So I don't know that answer. That'd be a good question if the county executive comes on to ask her. I guess she's going to go through and figure out, work on a policy, hopefully. See, the problem from what I saw, when I did the FOIA request for her email to the sheriff and the sheriff to her, and this was 2 weeks ago. This wasn't just now before the council meeting. This was 2 weeks ago when I sent that. There was no response from the sheriff to her. You just blanked her. So that's part of the problem. If there's no communication, things can't get solved. So what I think will happen, and what I hope will happen, either one of two things. Either the county comes to their senses and realizes that this community truly wants to be able to know what's happening and keep their families safe, and come up with some kind of a program like a Broadcastify, Livewire, something like that. Or there's legislation passed in Annapolis, which I'm confident we can get done.
So,
Just gonna take some time.
there used to be a way to listen to it, right? You used to have access.
Yes, for the last 4 years, we've never had an issue. We've always been able to listen to everything that's happening.
What's the like? Why are we trying to encrypt it? Like, why? I mean, I know it's like a normal thing, I guess, now happening, but why? Like, what's the
Like what happened?
I guess it's the flavor of the month, really.
Well, I mean, I understand like there are certain things you don't want broadcast, you don't want put out there.
Right.
Like I understand that when you're talking, about victims and you're talking about different situations, but like. And again, this will probably be a question for Mike Lewis, like, Sheriff Mike Lewis, like, and other, but you've been a police officer. Like, why is it that you wouldn't want like a scanner out there?
The first thing is for officer safety. They're saying that the officer safety issues is a main concern.
Yeah. That
said, I did the FOIA request, and you can go check them out. There's no record here on the shore of people using scanners in a negative way. So the officer safety issue is kind of out the door. Then they used the issue. It was a privacy issue. Has it been a privacy issue for the last 50 years? And there's, as I've always said, that the Social Security numbers going over the radio, that should never happen. There's a way to do that. You put that on a different channel, and you just flip a channel, run it over there where it's encrypted, where nobody hears that.
That's what I thought was happening. That's what I thought. I didn't know
the way it should happen.
I didn't know I didn't know the whole, like, you get nothing. Like, I didn't know
Ocean
that.
City, shout out to OCPD.
Yeah.
Those guys, they do it the right way. If they're going to run somebody, it goes to channel 4, and it gets ran on that channel. So, if I have a scanner, I can't hear that Social Security number, date of births, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
It's not done that way. In Wycomico County, we're behind the times. And so that's not a transparency. That's not an encryption. That's a policy issue.
Right. Okay. So I guess right now everything's just paused, and then
everything's in pause. We're doing same old. This weekend I kind of like slacked off a little bit just to relax and breathe. And,
yeah. Well, I asked you, when do you take a vacation? Because it's all you and your wife. You guys do an incredible job. I don't know how you do it. Like with all the scanners and the radios and computers and all that. But you're constantly updating. Like, and I know sometimes it's crazy. Like, you actually tell people, well, we're finally gonna go out to dinner.
Yes.
Like when you're taking a break. Like, when are you going on vacation, man?
I promise, honey, it's coming. Soon. We're going very soon.
Yeah.
I don't know when, but we're going. It's going at one more thing. If you guys go listen to the county council meeting from last week, the very first part of the public comments, there was actually people there complaining because I take off time.
Oh my gosh!
I swear it was the craziest thing I probably ever heard. But he works from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock, but he takes off to go to dinner. I'm like,
oh my gosh!
Don't do that.
I know, right? And then I go to sleep at nighttime.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm going to put little toothpicks in my eyes and stay open.
Yeah.
It's insane. It really is.
You ever thought about starting like a?
Yeah, I've thought about it. The problem is I'm so afraid. I've built
getting like a building,
I don't
like a
brag
space.
or anything like that, but I've built kind of credibility in what we do.
Yeah.
People learn to trust you, and it's hard to trust somebody else to do that same thing and give off that same, confidence of what they're posting. So I'm so scared of that. That's my biggest fear. Eventually, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, and you have like your own, get a space.
Yeah, come in here and do live broadcast.
Yeah,
my little desk over there.
Well, look, when you do, when and maybe even before that, we need to talk about doing something, some collab or something,
absolutely.
Because I would be lying myself if we did not get some of our news from Eastern Shore Undercover. We used to do a segment where we would just go down and read your stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, everybody watches you guys because everybody messages me and says, hey, turn on Power 101.7.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Earl Campbell. Thanks for all you do, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Check them out, Eastern Shore Undercover, but I already know you do anyway. So it's 8:17. It's a Bill and Jessica show.
Broadcasting